Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
Bloody Happy Hour here.
Bloody Happy Hour, your quickie edition. We go through what's going on in the news and all the things. It's going to be a pretty quick one today because it was kind of a slow news week.
That is a good thing.
Crime-wise, yes.
That is a good thing.
We need to dedicate this episode.
All weeks, yeah. All week. And Thursday's episode.
To one of our listeners who, if y'all heard about this big wreck that was on I-35 a couple of weeks ago, it happened, I think, early in the morning. Maybe like 6, and it took about 4 hours for them to clean it up because it was an 18-wheeler. That's just, from the news reports, there was road work or construction or something that they were doing, and the 18-wheeler did not stop in time and hit like several cars in front of it, and just, the domino effect, I guess. So I heard about it, and I remember going somewhere that day, and it was like noon, and it's still where people were just backed up, like people were getting off the highway, and I was like, dang, they're like, yeah, it's this huge 18-wheeler that exploded or what, just all these cars were just
on fire. So then about a week later, I get a message from one of our listeners who I've messaged with before, and in this wreck, there were multiple injured people who were rushed to the hospital. There was one fatality. And her name was Jennifer James, and she was one of our listeners.
Yes, dedicated listener.
Awful, awful, awful. I remember I was going back through messages, and Robin is her friend. Mm-hmm. Robin was introducing Jennifer to the podcast, and she sent me a picture. Hey, we're just sitting outside watching it. And I sent her a picture of the Ross letter because they were on that episode, I think. And they sent a picture laughing, and she just texted. She's like, she loved it. Thank you so much. She loved watching your podcast.
And then you read the article, and her husband died like 2 years ago in a car accident, like May 2023. So she had just been dealing with a horrible loss. So now it's like double whammy. I don't know if they have kids, but man, it's tragic for the friends, for the family.
Awful.
So, Jennifer James, this episode is for you and Robin.
Well, let's go right into another wonderful school shooting because...
Oh, man.
This is Antioch High School in Nashville. This happened January 22nd. Authorities got a call around 11 a.m. The shooter took the bus to school, went to the cafeteria armed, confronted a 16-year-old girl named Jocelyn Escalante before firing multiple shots, then eventually turned the gun on himself.
Okay, so one target.
So Jocelyn was one of 2 students that was shot after the shooter opened fire in the cafeteria. She was pronounced dead at a hospital, while the other student, so 2 students got shot, her and another student. The other student is in stable condition, expected to survive. He was just grazed in the arm.
Gosh.
Jocelyn played soccer, got good grades. Her family says she played soccer, got good grades, and she was very kind and loving. So this dude, 17-year-old Solomon Henderson, live streamed himself and showed a firearm on the live stream in the video just right before he started the shooting. The officers were like, yeah, they say it's premeditated. Law enforcement are examining the names that were found on the ammunition magazine. So he wrote names on these bullets.
Oh.
I don't know what names or what about it. He also left a 47-page manifesto.
Oh, goodness.
Don't you love that? Included a layout of the school along with photos of weapons he wanted to use and his thoughts about why he wanted to commit a shooting. Quote, I am a worthless subhuman, a living, breathing disgrace. He also said he was ashamed to be black. Then he went on
So he did what the white kids would do. He's the first black school shooter.
Shout out to the first black school shooter. But just wait.
He does not fit the profile.
He went on to use anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim language. And then later on, I read about what else is this manifesto. And he described himself as a self-loathing incel.
Incel.
Yeah,
What?
man.
He's probably the first black incel too. Solomon,
And
you
he said
are
he was
a
not
disgrace.
trying to get it. He was not trying to get his name out there. He's like, who even? Because they're like, were you? I don't know. There's a question and answer thing. I just saw a few pictures of. It was like, did you do this to, or are you doing this to, like, get your name out there, or become famous, or become known, or whatever, or infamous? And he was like, no. I mean, who even remembers the names of the 9/11 hijackers? Like, well, we probably can't say their names because it's probably like Akmar al-Jibiti or whatever. And he just, who attacked the Pentagon? Do you even know the name? It was just weird. He clearly has some mental health. I mean, it's mental health.
Oh, man.
But he's
It's
gone
sad.
and he killed this poor girl.
But he don't have a reason like why it's her.
Not that I did not go through the 47 pages.
Yeah.
So it could have been in there, but
Maybe what
It
she represents. She's
seemed-
probably was it Chad and what? What's the
Stacy.
Chad? Is she a Stacy? Sounds like she might be a Stacy.
She might have been a Stacy.
Yeah.
He tried to get her. He tried to ask her to prom, homecoming. She said no. Maybe. I'm just making that up.
She's a Stacy. That's probably what it is.
Yep.
Damn you, Solomon.
Idiot. Then we have, let me tell you a little, did you hear about this Heather Williams chick?
No, I haven't heard anything.
I know. I had to dig deep for some stuff. So on Saturday, January 4th, this girl, Heather Williams, she's 25 years old in Fayetteville, was last seen on her family's Ring door camera. And she was just leaving. She looked kind of stumbly. I saw the video. She was getting into a car, like a gray sedan, light colored sedan. But the family said they didn't recognize this car. And this was just this. It was a sedan with a sunroof, and it picked her up around 10 p.m.
Okay.
And she was considered to be endangered because she had suffered from cognitive impairment because she'd been hit by a car in 2015. So she probably
TBI.
a little
Traumatic brain injury,
I
maybe?
guess. I think she just, so she probably was, I guess, I don't know, you can be considered endangered. I guess if you have a mental,
Like if
like
you,
a brain injury. Or
they know you
something.
can't take care of yourself or make like safe decisions.
Yeah. So 6 days later, Friday, January 10th, police found her body in a wooded area. Then on Thursday, January 16th, police announced that they arrested Tyrell Sermons, 30, Fayetteville, and charged him with first-degree murder in connection with her death and disappearance. They
But he
didn't
didn't
release
know
any
her?
details about how they knew each other or how they came in contact, but they said they were able to track down him through the car that he was driving. But it looked like she
willingly got in.
He looked like he got a crooked eye. I mean, unless she was trying to get
she was leaving her house.
She's walked out of her house, and
I hope she wasn't talking to him.
unless she was trying to get drugs or I don't know, because where else are you gonna go meet a random person that nobody knows in the front and then?
Well, maybe it's not random. Maybe they had been talking. I thought you were gonna say it was an Uber driver and the Uber driver. Wow,
Yeah. Heather Williams. We got a little Kohberger news.
Okay.
It's a little law splainy, but maybe it'll make sense. So this has taken forever, I feel like, because it's been 2 years already.
Yes.
They've already moved the location of the trial to Boise. They have a new judge, all the things. It's just like it's supposed to happen in August 2025. They're still arguing. The defense is still saying, oh, the state's not giving us all the things that we need. And they're really having a fit over this, what's called IGG. It's like investigative genetic genealogy. So it's the way that they were, just how they went through the DNA stuff to get him. Like, because they, I think, used like an ancestry site to connect him to that. And so then the defense is basically arguing like that needs to not be admissible. Okay. So defense and prosecution, we have a hearing. It's happening today and tomorrow. So I don't know the outcome of it yet, but this is what they're talking about. They're arguing about what's going to be evidence that's going to be admissible at the trial. So Kohberger's team wants the DNA that was taken from Kohberger, which the state says matches at the crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
They want that
thrown out.
They want every item seized from his college apartment thrown out, from his car thrown out, from his parents' home thrown out, and all information from cell phone and online footprint obtained through search warrants thrown out.
So that's everything.
Bye.
There's no trial then.
Defense also says that the detectives working the case intentionally or recklessly omitted certain details from the investigation to convince a judge of probable cause warrants. So what would be the most damaging to the prosecution is if accepted by the judge, which what I talked about earlier, the IGG, if the defense is seeking to block the use of Kohberger's genetic information, which his DNA was left on the knife sheath. The knife sheath was left in the house. I'm sorry, but my DNA is not going to be left on a knife sheath in a house unless I was in that house.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like it should count, like, unless somebody framed him. I mean,
yeah.
So they're claiming that his Fourth Amendment rights, which is unreasonable search and seizure, were violated when the FBI pursued the advanced DNA technique, the IGG, and how they went about getting it by using a public ancestry to narrow the list of subjects. Like, I'm no expert at this. Go do your own research, but that's basically what I've gathered is that they're just trying to like, oh, this doesn't count. Get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, you know.
And maybe they're going towards everything to see what they can get thrown out. They're just coming in hot.
And I didn't have the state side because I just heard the one side so far when I was listening to it. So, but we need this to, the judge seems to be more like, really? Like, you're going to throw that out? Like, no, I don't think, that doesn't make sense. What you're arguing, there's no case law, all the things. So, hopefully.
Is it another red flag that Soupy asked for a knife sheath?
Yes.
I didn't get him one.
Oh, good.
It's like, I'm not going to buy the weapon you're going to use to kill me.
He's already planned your death. Okay. Unless you have anything, I'm going to go to Popcorn Corner real quick.
Go.
Okay. Blake Lively and Justin Baldini situation is getting so juicy.
He now countered, right?
Oh, he countered, and then like last night, now she... Okay, so he countersued. I don't know the last thing we said, but he countered because at first he just sued the New York. So she never actually sued. Remember we were talking about she filed a claim, but it wasn't a claim. She didn't file a suit against him originally. It was a complaint.
Okay.
I don't know why you do that or whatever, but that's when she alleged all these, like, how he was sexually assaulting her and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
During getting too close to her when they were doing, like, these love scenes or whatever. Which the video that came out about what exactly happened, and she was real into it, so. So, then Baldini sued her, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their PR person for $400 million.
Oh.
It was like 179 pages of a lawsuit.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah. So, Blake Lively handed a... Okay, then after... Is this what after? Is this happened? What happened after? Blake Lively handed the New York Times a 70-page complaint, okay, in hopes that the complaint would influence the public to go against Justin Baldini. Now, Blake and Ryan Reynolds are demanding that Justin Baldini's attorney stop speaking because they're putting out these videos. They're like, oh, here's this video of what actually happened versus what she said and she alleged in the complaint happened.
Yeah.
Because what she said isn't what happened. And they have video because, hello, we're filming a movie.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah,
apparently
yeah, yeah.
apparently in this one clip that's gone viral, there's no, that she didn't, they weren't mic'd up because it was supposed to be like, or they were mic'd up, but there wasn't supposed to be sound that was supposed to be going on. It'd be like if they're just showing a clip of them dancing and like, you know, looking like they're in love and like, oh, you know, ripping their face or whatever. But there shouldn't have been sound. So they were talking to each other as themselves, not in character.
Okay.
So, and they're just talking, bantering. And she seems completely comfortable. She does not seem like doesn't want him to do like nothing. So now that Justin Baldini's attorney's like releasing this video and releasing another video and all these things, they're like, oh, well, we can't have that. So Blake and Ryan have told the court to issue a protective order to stop Baldini's lawyers, which the lawyer is led by, his team is led by this guy named Brian Friedman, to stop them from engaging in improper conduct, including going on an alleged harassing and retaliatory media campaign against Blake and Ryan. I'm sorry, but you started it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think it's going to go back all to my original theory, which is
She's like Amber Heard.
she was falling. She was like feeling him. Like she was like really kind of liking him. And instead of, I don't know, I guess she was catching feelings.
And then he must have
And then maybe
rejected her?
somehow Ryan got involved, and you know, this is a whole thing where she says she's Khaleesi and she has her dragons. Taylor Swift is her dragon. Ryan is her dragon, and they will go to battle for her no matter what. So she's using her clout and her influence to like, because there's certain parts of the movie where she wanted to rewrite the scenes, and then Ryan was rewriting a scene, and they're like, "This is not your movie." All these, and then they're like, "Well, you're not giving me creative control, so now I'm going to say that you've sexually abused me." That's kind of thing. That's kind of, I guess,
Oh, gosh.
what's happening. So
I hate people.
I know. And then now more and more interviews come out with her, and she's just not nice.
She was just beautiful.
I know. I'd probably still be a friend. That's how I do it.
Until she stabs you in the back.
It's probably I'm trauma. I get trauma bonded. Okay, I get trauma bonded.
Well, we might be talking about a little trauma in the story on Thursday.
Oh, where are we going?
We are going to Japan.
Oh, Japan my way.
Japan, Tokyo.
Okay,
Or-
well, let me get ready and buckle up.
Yes. All right, we'll see y'all Thursday for a new episode of Bloody Happy Hour. Don't forget to
Stay where?
stay alive.
And always be DTF.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.